Hi, Phil Aston here from Now Spinning Magazine with another album review. It's Sendelica again. It's Sendelica again. This is a prog masterpiece. This is Requiem for Mankind. I just want to take you back as I show you this album and talk about this record, because I have so many of Sendelica albums, and Man Created God, that always doubles. Always. Man, Myth and Magic. The Crumley Chronicles. And these are such great value from Fluted to Mirror Records. One Man's Man. They've always got like die-cut sleeves, things inside them. They're fantastic. I mean, this one itself is on. You ready? They're always on fantastic coloured vinyl. Oh, look at that. Just need some custard to go with that, don't you? Bit of custard. But this is the best one. This is the best one that Pete Bingham has ever put together. This is the best one completely. I've described their albums in so many different ways. I've talked about being on top of a stairwell that takes you down into the underground. You can hear all this music drifting up, through the floorboards and everything. This kind of distant, ethereal sax playing and drums and elements of Hawkwind, of Tangerine Dream, of Black Sabbath, of music that's given the freedom to just stretch out and find its own form. I've used all of this. And I've also said that the journey across four sides of vinyl, I also have this one on CD, always takes you on a journey. And I've always found that side 4, or as we move towards the end of the album, is where, to me, everything, all the magic that Sendelica kind of put out comes together. I feel this one is really different in how it made me feel. And to try and explain that, I mean, it's all instrumental. There is a female vocalist. There is a track called Requiem for the Planet, which is on side 2. And I think it will be joined at the hip with the Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd from Dark Side of the Moon. It's that kind of female vocal that just sings over the top of this absolutely melancholy backing. But it just fills the room for like minute after minute after minute. We've got 20 minutes aside of this most beautiful music. The whole album is 80 minutes long. And that track, which is Callie on vocals, it's absolutely moving. But the other thing I want to mention, Pete Bingham is the brain behind Sendelica. And he always he's got these kind of hypnotic riffs, and he's kind of like, you would imagine him in the room as they're working on things, as this music organically just finds its own feet and just drifts across whatever room it's been played in. But I feel on this one, his guitar playing and also the piano sound, that there was true traditional piano sound on this album as well. But Pete's guitar solos are more structured. Not that they're not structured before, they kind of drift in and out. They're kind of part of a tapestry of sound. But I feel that on this one, the solos are a main part of the musical vocabulary of the band. They're really part of it. You notice them. Whereas before, everything kind of just sits in a soundscape. But I really noticed this time the solos. But I also love, when you talk about Pete Bingham and how what he does, electric and acoustic guitars, stylophone, bass synth, mellotron guitar, and field recordings. And as Pete said when I spoke to him a couple of times for the podcast, there are field recordings on all Sendelica albums. I think I was more aware of them this time because I was looking for them. I mean, there's one track that's really heavy. It has a real kind of Tony Iommi kind of sound to it, and it's a really heavy track. But the other stuff is kind of like, again, the Sendelica sound. If you'd asked me on all the other Sendelica albums that I've shown you which one of those was the best, I always would say, I think it's the most recent one. And then after I've lived with it for a while, I sometimes drift back to one of the other ones. They're part of the getting into a band like Sendelica. You just want to have the catalogue around you. But this one, I feel, is several stairwells up from these others. It's still very much Sendelica, but I really felt from the moment I put this on, as I was going through the first track called Cosmic Slop in the beginning, in brackets, that this was very different Sendelica. And it felt like it might be like a band that's, I'll say this and then I'll try and retrack if I've said something that doesn't sound right. It's like as if a band has been doing their own thing on a small label, and all of a sudden they found themselves signed to Atlantic, and they've been given the best producer in the world, and they've suddenly got a much bigger budget, and they've had more time to do it. There's no time constraints, and they've just said, just be yourselves, guys. Just go and do this. Now that gives the impression that there's something not quite right with the others. There isn't, but there's just something about this that just comes over the hill, and just will make you reacclimatise to the sound of Sendelica. This is more. Some of the other music can be very ambient, very transient, as if like it's not background music, but you're part of it. This I found was uplifting without words, because the music lifted me up there. I always have my benchmark. Sue's always in the room when I'm playing new music, and she said, "This is really good, isn't it?" I said, "It's Sendelica again." She went, "Well, it's a bit different than normal," and in a way, it is. Yeah, it is different, but in all the best ways. Lee Ralph is on sax again, and he's superb. Glenda Pescado on bass. And as I say, Callie is a guest vocalist on Requiem of the Planet. I'm sure she pops up on another track as well, actually. And also we've got Santu Lexo on synthesizers on Chaos, and Constantine on drums and sonics and electronics. I doubt if you can stream this, so you're going to have to trust me when I say please go and listen to it. Go to Fruits to Me Records, buy it on CD, get it on vinyl. You'll find that it's great value on vinyl, and it will sell out really quickly. Go to Sendelica's Bandcamp page and you'll just see how quickly these things disappear. But a lot of people in the Facebook group are Sendelica fans, not just because of me. They'd found them actually before me. But this is going to be my top 25 albums of the year. And I know the year is about to come to an end, but I had to put this one in. So that is Sendelica, Requiem for Mankind. And because they come with these cutout sleeves, you can actually change the colour of the sleeve to how you feel. Superb stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Become a patron or YouTube member. Get to see all my videos before anyone else, and also get an invite to the Facebook group and the WhatsApp group as well. Plus 2 virtual meetups at our own Now Spinning Arms virtual pub. And of course, you can always buy a t-shirt. Remember, music is the healer and the doctor. Take care, keep sending those discs, and I'll see you all very, very soon.